This is a Grande Pacific production. All right, today we're back at the
Mule and Western Railroad.
All right, this is a return visit. This will be part 2, and this is Morris Smith. And you're going to see a lot today. We're going to concentrate on some really great scenery improvements, and we're going to look at an awful lot of really well done LED lighting. We were here in July of 2013, and here we are today. It's October the 10th, 2014, so big jump on this railroad. A lot of 3 martini tree making parties here. So, and by the way, the gear motion in the set of drivers behind you is all done with wood, and Morris built it all. So double deck layout here, and Morris is going to get a train running here for us. And this at the top, if you go back and look at the first video, you will see was a lot of pink styrofoam. Okay. Definitely sounds like it might be an alcove. And it has that ever familiar loping engine sound. So, kind of taking a look at the blue background here and the lighting, and then I'll swing up here, and he uses a piece of wood and mounts 2 strips of LEDs on the strips for the lighting up underneath the second level. Another very good practical lesson here is the rivers. And I'm going to go down here, follow the train along, and we'll kind of get the whole view. So here you see the proverbial closed cell pink styrofoam has been carved out for his riverbed. Then he's come along and colorized it in step 1 into the different shades, and is using either this could be joint compound or some other type of plaster mix, which I'll ask him here in a minute. And then we have the different stages of scenery development with them. Colorization, rocks, we paint the bottom of the river. Then we add more detail with rocks and so forth. And then we continue on up here and we add water. So, there's probably a real good step-by-step demonstration of making a riverbed. Styrofoam is the greatest thing in the world. In the case here, Morris is using the styrofoam as basically a base for the railroad. So in that case, if you're using it to support the railroad as opposed to plywood, then you definitely want to use the closed cell styrofoam, not beadboard, the white stuff. Beadboard's fine for scenery and stuff, for just filling in spaces, but yeah, you really need to use the closed cell pink or the blue for this type of work. That's homosode roadbed, the cut type, which I show in the first video. We're talking about building a river here. Morris, what did you use right here for fill-in material? This is what?
Well, there's plaster cloth directly on the foam, and the plaster cloth takes some of the layering out, some of the edges off of it. But I also fill with a plaster mix that I make up myself. It's got a fiber in it, and you can buy this stuff at the hobby centers and stuff. It's like paper mache. So I fill in the cracks, then I paint, then I start detailing with my fine dirts, and I work up to the more coarse coverings.
Okay, there's another great idea on simple stuff that works.
Paper mache is the easiest thing to use. Comes in 2 or 3 pound bags from the hobby stores.
There you go. So here's the look at the other side. Now train has come on around here. Good old bottle brush tree making there. Another example of the LED lights. Again, about model railroading, people want to see their trains. He's got a Helix here. He chose to leave it open where you can see it. Now, you know, when you do woodwork like this, this is a professional, people. You can show all this kind of stuff off. It makes it look great. Look at those joints and the fittings. So when you're operating your train and you have to go into the Helix to go up and down, you can see your train. Just part of what you need to do.
LEDs, I was saying with these, and they're a medium light LED. They're all 12 volts on the switch. And then you buy them 16 for 12 volts. So I've got a bus running around. It's a very good job of hiding, but you notice there. Anyway, about every segment in here, like from here to here, is a segment that has a feeder that it's plugged into the bus. That 12-volt bus on the top is ran by a power supply from a computer, a ATX power supply out of a power computer. And it's drawing about 17, 18 amps at 12 volts. That power supply is up in the ceiling and the switch from it. Then the lower deck is got a 12-volt bus, and it also runs off of a power supply that's mounted underneath the lower bus on the other side. So there's two computer power supplies running all the lighting on this. Each one of them drawing about 17 or 18 amps at 12 volts. And there's 4,000 LEDs on top, and there's 4,000 LEDs on the bottom. And there's two strips, and the two strips here and two strips here give you enough light that you get this fill. And the total number of LEDs makes it so that there's very little shadow. The shadows that you see are from the spotlights, but you hold your hand under this and you don't get real stark shadows underneath it. So you don't get the fixed shadows around the scenery that you get in a lot of other lighting situations.
Do you have a total of 4,000 or
8,000
8,000
LEDs.
LEDs.
Yeah, there's about 30 rolls, 16 feet to the roll in this. There's 15 rolls on top and 15 rolls on the bottom. Or this was just painted this morning.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the logging branch.
This is going to be the logging branch.
Yeah.
There's a river with a log trestle here, a log trestle here, and they will push cars back up in here. There will be a spar tree right here and for loading the cars, and they'll be logging up in that little valley up in there. Is where
Good.
it's going to be. Be a couple of camp buildings down here. And most of this will be denuded. There will be just rubble there with trees along the back of it, is the plan.
You need to get to work there.
Let me check on my trains, make sure I'm not catching up to each other here.
I've already seen one idea here that's making me reconsider what I'm doing.
I hear that a lot. We had an open house here for the division one Sunday in August, and I had 55 people show up. And the first comment out of everybody's mouth when they came in the door was, I got to tear a lot of stuff out and start over.
Where did you come up with this plan?
Well, I had started a smaller layout.
Oh.
I started a small layout years and years ago, which had to be tore out like most people, because I was on the move a lot working for the oil. And then I retired. I wanted to build railroad, and I thought about building a little switching layout, a shelf layout, and then I finally came downstairs, and that room in there was
Isn't that neat? Look at that.
a sitting area and kind of a
That's
family room
good.
type thing.
That's what I need on mine
And
for my
I
narrow gauge operation.
built, this was where you built, and this wall was across here, had a door in it, and that was the other room.
One other thing you need to say here, this layout is in Cumming, Georgia, north of Atlanta. It's part of the Piedmont Division Fall Tour, which starts this weekend. They do it every year. There's 80 something layouts on this. If you go to the Piedmont Division of the NMRA in the southeast United States, it's the southeastern part of Southeastern Division, that they will have a list in how you can make the tour. Desolation Canyon, okay.
But I wanted to lay out the flow.
Yeah.
One of the things that's helped me a lot is that's why it's wall bracketed and freestanding. Now the other thing is, the reason that this is built this way on these two peninsulas is to keep an open area underneath and above. You want to do that for the HVAC. If you close this all the way off, people build walls floor to ceiling and then they put layouts against it. Here, there's one post at the end of each one of these. This post here goes up, ties
These are your switch machine controls.
one post and that one. And they're both hollow, so that I can run wiring down through them through the drop ceiling. So I can come out of my command station here if I need to add something later and drop down. But
How much space do you have?
not much. There's just 4 or 5 inches underneath.
But that's enough to scoot away.
Here.
I'm figuring in my station.
Okay. Now here's the statistics right here.
This is a very good idea, and it's something I intend on doing on my layout, is get the ramp meters and install them around the layout so you can get a reading on your voltage. He's got his amps hooked up too, which means he's got this tied in series.
Almost 4 inches.
Then of course I showed you this picture a little bit ago with the chair. This is so he can roll, it's lay down and roll around underneath the layout and work on things and see them. For all of us who wear bifocals, this is a must. This will be the end of part 1 of the Millshoe and Western Railroad. Part 2 will be a separate video.